Someone once said, love at first sight is easy to understand. It's when two people have been looking at each other for a lifetime that it becomes a miracle. Well, today we bring you just that, a miraculous love story that has endured the test of time. Meet Dorothy and William Pape. Now in their late 90s, they have been married for nearly 70 years, and they have lived a life full of adventure. We first heard about the Papes when Dorothy wrote a letter to her local newspaper, asking for help.
His birthday was coming up. I thought if only we could have a night or two together in a double bed again. We've been up here, we were in single hospital beds, you know. We slept together for 65 years. But we like being together, don't we?
William was turning 98, and the Papes, who now live in a senior residence, are forced to live in different wards. So the desire to be together for a night or two seemed like a romantic request, especially coming from an elderly couple. Soon many local organizations caught on and were quickly able to provide the couple with a weekend getaway in Niagara Falls.
It's just amazing how it happened. Like a river.
I sat down with this incredible couple at the senior residence they now call home. And while Mr. Pape's memory isn't as sharp as Mrs. Pape's as it used to be, it is still clear by the stories they tell that their life has been full of surprises from the beginning.
We met 2 or 3 times socially in a group with Christians from the college. But it wasn't until I started in a job that we really met and spoke to each other. You know.
Dorothy had gotten a job at a hospital in a rough part of London, England, where unbeknownst to her, a young William Pape ran a church service for children on Sunday afternoons.
I wasn't there on Sundays, so normally we wouldn't have met, but he asked me to meet him for lunch, and he would tell me more about the place. And so we did that, and we saw each other occasionally.
But marriage was not on her mind, and while everyone else was talking about finding someone, she says she was just fearful of making the wrong decision. So she was always seeking God's direction.
I was praying for something quite different. I wasn't thinking about marriage or anything to do with it. And it seemed the Lord said, if you get a postcard from Bill Pape, that means you're going to marry him.
Well, 3 days later, you guessed it. A postcard arrived with a beautiful picture of the Swiss mountains from none other than William Pape.
It just had a text on it about the Swiss mountains showing the glory of the Lord. But anyway, I knew that was a direct guidance from the Lord.
Dorothy never told William what God had said, but after he returned from his trip, the young couple started seeing more of each other as feelings started to grow deeper.
I had one lady who needed to go to a convalescent home after surgery, and he offered to drive her down to save the train fare. So we took her there, and on the way back, it was pouring with rain, but he suddenly stopped and was quiet for a minute. And then he said, I love you, didn't you?
Soon they were engaged and excited about planning a wedding, but then the unexpected happened.
We began to feel somehow the Lord wanted a change. And we decided finally that we'd set aside one evening to pray definitely the Lord would show us what he wanted.